Welcome back, everybody, into your coverage of the D2CL, as we will be bringing you something that has not happened since October 2011.
Na'Vi winning a game. No, it's actually art style being on Na'Vi.
Yes. Here we were, not going to start this broadcast.
Not biased at all.
But Cav just
just brought out the shotgun from underneath the table.
Oh, that's... Yeah.
I didn't plan that one out at all. That was just...
That was just brutal. It's like, remember what Denny said, man? Be positive. Be positive.
Be positive.
That's what it's all about. But yes, art style now leading the Na'Vi roster. They brought back a bit of an old school player as well. I say old school, they're old player, Phonic. So it almost feels like, okay, if there's any Queenslanders tuning in right now, it's like they tried to call up Justin Langer. Not Justin Langer, that was the wrong one. Alfie Langer. Sorry to all the NRL Queensland fans out there. But you basically try to bring a player, I'm not going to say out of retirement, because Artstyle was playing around with a whole bunch of teams in the break after he was removed from Na'Vi.
Scary faces.
The funny thing is, too, the fact that the reason why Artstyle was removed was because of, like, the issues internally that were there. Maybe a lot of them were coming out from the players who aren't still in Na'Vi. So Havors and Denny were probably very fine with that. I think I remember actually Denny telling me that he was actually very fine with art style, but putting a personality like Puppy and art style together was trying to mix water and oil. It just didn't.
And with age comes experience, right? And with experience comes maturity.
Yeah.
So it's possible that you know, just like come with me, his dialed down his old ways.
Some of them.
He used to be known as quite the flamer.
Okay, yeah.
You know, he's dialed that down a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe art style is a little bit easier to work with. You know, these players are getting more mature as they age. They perhaps art style is a better captain than he used to be.
Well, Na'Vi needed a captain. No matter what happens, art style needed to come in and be the captain, or anyone needed to be coming in and doing the captain's role. Doesn't seem Denny was able to do it. They tried using FNG, and now he's disappeared. I'm actually really just surprised that Vanskor is removed and put into that like reserve player role.
Well, not anymore. He's already found a new team.
He's already out and gone?
Yeah, according to the gossip out there in the field, he's with Solo, and who else is there? There's another player that is kind of questionable whether or not he's actually going to be able to work with, but it's basically like the Russian rejects, essentially.
Okay.
That's the word out there in the Russian blogosphere.
So no longer the North American rejects, the CIS rejects.
Yeah, sort of. They're basically formed their own team.
It's kind of sad because
so essentially he's saying he's still on the reserve team. You know, they're basically like, yeah, we're kicking him, except for we're basically, you know. It's like when you get a kind of a shift job and they just stop giving you shifts.
Okay.
Yeah, technically you could just quit the job. Then you could say, oh, well, I quit my job. But really, you got fired. You know?
Right.
So,
well, okay. The draft is very much underway. So it looks like we're going to be having Phonic playing one of his signature heroes for the off-lane with the Bat Rider. Denny gets to take the Shadow Fiend, and a Lion and a Chen. So we're throwing Jungle Time in for Na'Vi and also Micro Jungle Time in for Na'Vi, and that leaves our last player, our last hero, which is a Havors hero, which is the last question mark. Well, NiP pull out even more of the classics. We're going with the Wisp CK build, with the Queen of Pain for the solo mid up against a Shadow Fiend. That looks stable as well, and the Phoenix as your off-lane hero. And of course, Artstyle's going to be banning out the Tree and Protector, so you don't have to worry about the Living Armor combo with both Wisp as well as with Phoenix. Both are quite potent, even though it would make your laning a little bit more passive, when Na'Vi could then just pick up something a little bit more pushy and force out your buildings. But either way, we're coming down to our last pickups.
Yeah, generally I like the Chaos Knight. I think he's a pretty underrated hero right now. Well, I actually don't think the professional teams underrate him. I think they know the strength of Chaos Knight. Certain teams like Alliance have definitely showcased his recent strength with his change-up of his ultimate, like the 50% chance to get a gigantic increase in strength, a whole nother illusion added into the pool. I think he's still a very viable hero, and I think most teams recognize that. It's just like the question of, well, when do you really get him? You know, it's kind kind of like the Clinks in the regard that it's like, yeah, he serves a kind of specific purpose. You just sometimes forget about him when that purpose comes along. But here, like, you're facing up against the SF. I think Chaos Knight is very strong versus SF. If you ever catch him out, that physical damage is going to tear apart that hero. And the rest of the team, pretty squishy as well. That's going to be able to give you some pushing power, as you said. Though Na'Vi obviously have the much greater pushing power with the Chen, SF, and now the Sven as their carry, which is going to be able to give them a huge boost in armor as well as another big physical damage dealer. This is a specific counter versus Chaos Knight. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a great way to deal with that Phantasm by having your cleave ability up. It gives a little bit more cramped nature to the jungle, so you can't really power level this vent because you've got both a Bat Rider and a Chen who are wanting to have something inside the jungle. So this could be problematic. It looks like we have ourselves a problem. Can we play Stockholm? Yes, okay. So it looks like we'll quickly just jump out of the game and go into rehost.
Era is currently undefeated in Chaos Knight.
Really?
I mean,
you can't play that many games as Chaos Knight.
I can't. I don't know if he's completely undefeated on Chaos Knight. I should say NiP are undefeated on Chaos Knight.
Okay, that sounds like a
yeah.
I
just say because Era, Era's going to be playing the Chaos Knight, so I just naturally said he's undefeated. But it's NiP. They've only played it twice, but they've won both games. They have a pretty solid performance with Phoenix so far. They're another one of those teams who can run offlane Phoenix as well as support, though obviously from this game it is going to be run as the offlane. What else did they have for support-wise on the side of NiP? Because I was more interested in looking at NiP's lineup, to be honest, because we don't know what kind of style Na'Vi are going to bring us, right? New squad, 2 new members.
Yeah.
You can't necessarily, especially with a new captain, right? You can't say like, oh, this is what Na'Vi have done in the past because it's an entirely different team now. So it was more interesting to me to see what NiP would pick up if it was kind of like the same old stuff in their wheelhouse. The Chaos Knight was certainly a surprise, but I think it fits quite well. I think it's something that they have prepared themselves for. Toby's just like, where's the lobby? Where's the lobby?
A little impatient, They
understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable. Sometimes these admins will walk away from their computer.
Well, during the drafting phase, it's like what could go possibly wrong during the drafting phase?
Yeah, exactly. Well, apparently a lot can go wrong.
Yeah. There's a huge amount of things that can go wrong.
How's your afternoon, Toby?
Really? That's where you want to go with that conversation?
I mean, like...
The afternoon was a lazy start. I was looking for some but I didn't really have that. Like, I was
Game 2 wasn't bad.
Game 2 wasn't bad. Game
2 was actually a nice...
It was just
upset.
It was just a little bit more depressing. Oh wait, we had to beat the Russians into what up, Russians? Yeah, where the air is crisp. Slut number 1, baby.
How's the weather down there, Russians? How's the weather down there, Storm Studio? And then they're like, how's the weather where you only have 13,000 viewers and we have 100,000 or something like that?
it's because the Russians are more powerful than the English. This is what we just had to accept.
Yeah, seriously. Dota communities run by...
Yeah, it's hilarious. If you look at that other game, which I may or may not cast, the English viewers completely shite all over the Russian viewers. But in Dota 2, it's the opposite.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Russian communities. I'm interested to see CIS communities so fanatic about Dota.
I'm interested to see if it is just the viewers or if it's, as in, like, just the region where the viewers come from. Or if it's something else like the quality of the live streams, because I know Starlighter was basically running the highest quality live stream out there. So a lot of people were tuning into that as opposed to like watching BTS or like watching us or whatever because of that. But I'm wondering what happens when we start to put our new studio together and we pump out 1080p 60 frames per second.
Well, I think you're living in I think you're living in a bit of a dream there, Toby, that all those viewers are going to come over to us. But I think
that's why I've got to try and outsource the viewers. If I cast some CSGO, they're going to come and watch Dota 2.
That's true.
Isn't that the plan?
Yeah, you're a mastermind, Toby. You're a mastermind.
See, everyone thought it was like the vile betrayal.
Did you?
But really, I got your back, bro. I got your back.
You're pointing at the camera, but they can't see us right now.
No, sorry. Would you like me to say,
I
got your back, bro?
There we go.
Got your back.
Yeah, so Toby's bringing in more Dota viewers. Everyone else is like, oh, Dota's dead. Dota's dying. Dota's dead. And Toby's like Superman. Toby's like, I know what to do. And everybody's like, you change the tournament format. Valve need to get involved. And Toby's like, no. I just go to other esports communities and bring the viewers to us. Toby is Superman.
I just sit there saying, why can't we all just be friends? Everyone can watch each other's game, all right? You don't have to choose. I'm not gonna make you choose.
Wait, what? Oh dear.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go through the Captain Smokers. We're on that. So yeah, we just have the normal pickups of everything that we had previously.
Yep.
That was.
Did you meant to say the knife round earlier?
Yes, that was purpose. I'm doing it to troll everyone who's in the channel, going, "Oh, I thought this was a CS:GO live stream." That's what I'm doing it for. It's the only reason. It's just like every time Sniper is banned, I was like, well, the ops been nerfed.
You realize that you have spread that to the rest of the Dota community, right?
Yeah.
Like, that actually is said in every Twitch chat about every person.
I love it.
Like, the first thing was me. The first thing was like, well, naturally, it's going to be all of Join Dota going to CSGO. And then I look over and I'm like watching Dream League and like, oh, Too Good's gone off to CSGO, guys.
Anyone that's not casting, what was Draskell doing this entire time? He was actually playing CSGO.
Way to go, Toby. You have actually single-handedly created like this spread of Twitch meme now.
It's terrific. Yeah. It's terrific. As long as I give something that entertains the people, that's all I care about. I hope you're entertained.
Are you not entertained?
Ah! We need an emperor to stand in the ring.
You know, you saw. Did you see that the thing that Twitch put out? That basically was not a bubble map, but it was like a cluster map of the interactions between the communities. So basically, yeah.
And then Dota 2 was just by itself.
Dota 2 was like so isolated. It's like way over there in the corner. And it was really big, but it was all off on the corner by itself. And it was like, no, you can't play with my toys.
Oh, wait. They all disconnected. They all disconnected.
I was wondering why it was taking them so long.
Yeah, because that didn't make any sense to me either. And now it's going to be like, where are you, boys? Like, okay.
Well, it's not even up yet. Oh, my God. The circus is in town, boys. The circus is in town.
It's at this point, it's like, well, we should double check and see if they started again. And it's just like...
Now we can rewatch them do the drafting.
Oh, there's no way. There is no way. Like, I am going to flip this... I'm not going to say what's sitting next to us on the studio table. If that is managed to fail... I don't know why it's there.
It's toilet paper, Toby. Jeez, it's toilet paper. Some of us have, runny noses and stuff.
And some of us own tissues.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh
so yeah, it turns out like this has to be the older version. Yeah, it's the older version.
609 viewers are going, what the hell is going on? I bought the ticket. I have this HUD.
I'm actually just going to click this and see if it's the old draft. Just to see, because the admins are not replying to us inside the chat.
Now please turn to pick.
Yep, that's
that's the one that we were just in because, oh, look, there I am. It's Inception Dota style. How many layers of Toby can you take?
We just take our hands off the keyboard. Put our microphones down for a while and just re-listen to our old bullshit through Dota TV.
And that's the reason why we have this for all the shit. Whenever we create shit in the studio, that's how we wipe it up.
That's why this table is black. So it doesn't show up on screen.
Don't see the smear marks?
Yeah, exactly.
Or is it just because you crap black?
No, so you don't see the smear marks, not because I shit black.
I'd say that would be pretty impressive if you did it.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
What?
On my screen, I haven't actually.
We have a new password. We have a new password.
I haven't gone offline in Steam Friends, right? So,
okay, let's go back to the game and get us off camera.
I must have typed in the wrong
We've lost where the air is crisp. We've lost where the air is crisp. New password. I would tell you it, but then we'll have the entire stream join us. So
not if we start the game fast enough.
2-minute
delay. The clock is running. On the clock, BenQ, you have 120 seconds to start the game before the flood begins. Anyway,
yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, that's right. Crapping the. Oh, that's right. So my friends list, it just popped up. Padrino was playing, and he was playing some other game than Dota 2. And of course, Padrino is the one who. All right. Yeah, that's weird. Padrino was the one who was kicked for Weehaw on Balkan Bears. So it's just kind of a little juxtaposition. It was a little sad seeing Padrino play something other than Dota 2 because he no longer has a team.
Okay.
Why did we rehost the second time anyway? Was it the wrong server, or were they just like, oh, it'll be faster if we just go AP? Because that's definitely not the case.
Dude, I don't know anything.
Why? That wasn't even tweeted at me, by the way. That picture.
No,
but why did he take? Why did he take a screenshot of me looking derpy as hell?
And you looking derpy as hell. Look at that expression on my face. I'm not worried about that. If you guys want to know what I'm
I look
about,
derpy. I look derpy.
I'm gonna retweet
you
it.
look like.
So it's like. Actually, that's the kind of
I'm
grin.
imagining the audience naked right now.
That's the Freiburg grin. I would show it to you. Just go to Tubby1Dota. I just retweeted on Twitter, so you can find it there. I would try to pronounce this guy's name, but it's just like...
You're actually filthy, by the way.
Am I?
Using this opportunity to...
It's not. What? Social networking power is life. Is the universe. Is everything.
Listen, I'm not bitter at all that I just had a whole bunch of people visit my Twitter page and nobody followed it.
Yeah, what was with that? You were on front page of Reddit, and Cap went up by a grand total of like 20 followers.
Follow me, guys.
Poor Cap.
Guys, I am losing the 100,000 follower race to Toby right now. You guys don't understand.
Wait, what do you mean race?
No. See,
is there a race?
No. This is a way to put it, all right, Toby? This is the way to put it.
Okay.
When I joined you still had not hit 100,000 people.
That's true. I think I was still sitting around like 50 or 55.
I was sitting at like 2,000 or 5,000 or whatever point, right?
Yeah.
So you eventually caught up to me, right? And we were like, it caught up to me. You are 100,000 followers ahead of me. You're actually growing faster than I am at this point. I would have thought you would have reached saturation point where you would have reached all the Dota people you could have reached.
I just thought everyone would have just stopped following me because they realized that my social networking and what I post is complete crap. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Well, it makes sense now because now you're reaching CSGO people. So now you're reaching a whole entire different community and bringing in those Twitter followers. But at the same time, I've only
just started casting CSGO, and still I'm crap at that too. So...
Well, you know.
Maybe people really do just like crap.
I mean, sometimes people follow you not necessarily because they like you, but because they know you're going to output content that amuses them, right?
As
someone put it on as someone put it on Reddit, I follow Capitalist now because he's the biggest drama queen and he gets my dose of drama in.
Really? Because you're the biggest drama queen?
Yeah, I've replaced you now,
You are
Toby.
so not the biggest drama queen.
I've replaced you.
Vlad, hands down, is the biggest man of the source of any drama. Vlad's going to be there for you. So if you want drama, follow Vlad.
Vlad's the gossip monger.
Yeah, well, it's because he knows everything.
He knows everything that's going on, and he always says it. And somehow teams keep telling him what's going on. It's very weird.
Alright, well, meanwhile, back at the ranch in the world of Dota 2, we have Ninjas in Pajamas going up against Na'Vi, their new roster. It's only taken us 35 minutes to get to this point, but I'm glad you can join us, as we'll see how the new Na'Vi roster under the captainship of Artstyle is able to work with the re-injection of
Oh my god, I wasn't paying attention. Apparently Na'Vi banned Batrider in that second rematch. They accidentally banned Batrider instead of picking Batrider. Idiots. And you thought Artstyle would bring success to Na'Vi. Epic fail straight at the draft.
Clapper.
Well done.
Alright, well, we do have the Batrider now picked up for Na'Vi, which makes sense why we had to have our restart. But yeah, there's...
Finally, the circus is on the road.
Yes.
We're ready to go.
We're going to start.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how the rust is there for ArtStyles Chen, because I'm assuming he's our Chen player in this game.
All right. So apparently I was wrong. Balkan Bears manager, let me know. Apparently Padrino wasn't kicked. He's just isn't playing because he's got some personal problems and he can't be like 100% in the game. So that actually makes sense because I was like they never put out like anything about Weha replacing Padrino. It was just like all of a sudden it was like, oh, Weha no longer is playing Meatbone.
Padrino, if you're dying of a broken heart, you deserve better. Go find a new girl.
Yeah, if you want somebody to hold you, I know Blitz is really good at hugs.
Yeah, he's actually, like, there was a really weird moment where Blitz was hugging Cap in the corridor, or was just, like, singing an entire song at him.
He's saying What a Girl Wants to Me. He serenaded me, Toby.
Yeah, that's not what I call a serenade.
What a girl wants.
That's what I call
What a girl needs.
No, Cap, no. Just no. Please, no. Just no. 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 No.
You know what they say, Toby? It's too late to apologize.
Yeah, because apology.
I'm just gonna communicate. I'm gonna communicate in all song form for this cast.
Oh, it's over. It's over now. Move over. I hope everyone knows what that song's from. Limp might be in a little bit of trouble.
Limp, run, Limp.
He's got Blink first level. It's gonna kind of hurt him a little bit in the laning phase, especially considering the aggressive movements here of Na'Vi. It looks like they're going to try and run an aggro Chen. Or at least they're going to say hello to each other for a moment, and then ArtStyles completely regrets this decision and is going to move back down the river, losing 50% of his HP, maybe losing a little bit more of his HP. ArtStyles, this is not the way you want to come in. Not with Dendy blocking you so Queen of Pain can inflict more damage. He's happy to burn a salve before the 0 minute mark.
Yeah, don't underestimate Queen of Pain's right-click damage, by the way. Guap is a pretty heavy hitter in the early game. Doesn't even have like the Null Talisman build. He actually has the build for Null Talisman eventually, but he went some extra regen because he's not mid. He's going to be a safe lane farming Queen of Pain. They do run a Chaos Knight Wisp mid, not terribly surprising, seeing as Era.
This is really smart by NiP for where their positioning is. Limp made sure that this camp couldn't spawn up, so there was no way for ArtStyles to grab a creep from it because that would give them the advantage they're searching for on the top. Because right now ArtStyles is 48 base damage. That's his only purpose on this lane. But they better push Limp back out of it. But because they're running Wisp as well as CK in the mid, and that bottle already, Era's happy to take all the damage and try and go for these reality rifts over on Dendy and get up in his face because they want to take the damage. Now with the Wisp Spirit Balls, Hanskin's actually playing this very similar to the way Era as well as Notal used to play it, which is just run crazily at the enemy, take a crap ton of damage, then come back, heal up, do it all over again, and maximize. Don't go for the overcharge, go for high points up in Tether and Spirits.
Yeah, as long as you don't accidentally die, it's all good. It's 100% fantastic. So the dual lane should be able to get a kill on SF eventually. Like Dendy, it's just too scary of a lane. I think eventually you're going to die. I'd be very surprised if SF goes for full like 10 minutes without dying. They are also getting a big advantage out of the Phoenix 1v1 up against Batrider. Not to say that Phoenix beats Batrider in a 1v1 scenario, but more the fact that when you compare off-lane scenarios, the Batrider is much better at being able to transition from a hard to stay in lane off lane, and he just goes jungle, right? The Phoenix doesn't have that opportunity.
With submit, nope, it's nothing. Actually, no, it is something. Seal Kid gonna go for that fissure. He's gonna block in ArtStyles. Already the Tomatoes let off the clap, but only a 1 second stun over an ArtStyles. May not be enough, but with the reality rift, they're gonna pull ArtStyles back in. Welcome back to a tier 1 team. Well, sort of. ArtStyles. NiP 1-0 onto the board.
Well played by NiP. Good rotation from Seal Kid, just kind of like echoing wherever the Chen goes. You know, that's all he needs to do. ArtStyles needs to go into his own jungle now. Their aggro whatever lane was really weird, and it wasn't going to work. Not up against Queen of Pain, because all Queen of Pain has to do is... hold up, Limp.
With the Storm Bolt, it's still a blink away. They don't have enough follow-up control with Lion having no mana. Like that's kind of the critical point of that lane.
He certainly misclicked though. That was a heavy toll of damage there. But fortunately, he did see that Seneko didn't have any mana, and that's why he played a little bit too aggressively there.
Interesting to watch that position there of Seneko too. He moves up and into this little back corner, It's like you wanted to cancel the clarity of Seal Kid, but Seal Kid was already at 100% mana. Also, I got to give an apology to Cart. We forgot to give him the new password.
Yeah, sorry, Cart.
So our stats man has been left at the door, wondering where everyone is.
He'll give you Twitch stats.
Hey, yeah. Well, he's always in the chat anyway. So
it's like Nahaz always does.
Spend more time in the chat than in the game.
Yeah, like in the Nahaz, I'll see him and it'll just be like, oh, he's in the chat, but he doesn't actually have time to be
Reality Rift, they're going again over on Dandy, but the Chaos Ball coming out very late. It's a 3-second stun, but realizing that TP support was coming in, they wanted to bail. It just ended up being a fake TP, as it was not completed, because they're looking for another kill. It's Batrider. Funnick is going to die on this bottom lane. That is Funnick, by the way. We did check to see if it was Glebasher was him. I said, I don't know if it's actually meant to be Glebasher, instead of actually, like, bashing onto the wonderful show, which has captivated hearts of millions in America, and also destroyed eardrums of many others. Arstyle's going to die for a second time. The Whisperers do all their work. That Troll Trap didn't do enough. And the Queen of Pain's moved off the top lane, so they're actually dragging the Quap down to bottom lane. I don't know if this is in anticipation of Johannes now picking up a Tranquils and TP, and then he can go towards the top.
Yeah, it is kind of it's kind of odd. I would have expected like the Phoenix to get to level 6 or maybe even level 7 before they make that kind of full rotation.
The Quap's coming back. She's running back up to mid, and Seneko is already trying to prepare himself for a gank up against Era. Rather a difficult thing to do when you're up against the Wisp combo, because you need to find a way to disable both the Wisp as well as control the CK. And controlling a CK is very difficult as a Lion, because you're not going to get the stun off, because Reality Rift is probably going to screw around with your Impale.
That's kind of interesting. Limp, I think he just stacks both camps.
Yeah,
he stacked both camps with the blink. Very nicely played. The lane is a bit too dangerous now, the dual lane of Lion and Sven, mainly because they can actually lead with Stormhammer, and I don't think the Queen of Pain can blink away in time. Right? She has to turn around and then get off the blink animation. I think by that time, Stormhammer hits her. So, oh, they spotted out that ward from Artstyle, may actually get Artstyle himself.
The range though for Era just kept being too far out. The Fisher buying time for Era as Hanska cannot keep enough life points in the back of that Chaos Knight to keep him alive. Not with the double raises, and even with Seal Kid's Fisher, it could not make enough space.
Well, that's quite surprising and quite fortunate there for Na'Vi, who end up getting the first kill in that middle lane. Really expected it would have been the SF, but Dendy's been sitting far enough back, playing it well.
What a flag too, up on top lane. Look at Divorce as far as his CS goes, and net worth. So he's managed to grab 35 CS, as well as having now 2.6k net worth. The only person that's near him is the Shadow Fiend, Limp. Artstyle controlling him with the Warstorm too. He does have Blink available, but with the Hex, he waited way too long for it. And now Chen, Artstyle's able to get that pick off. Rotation successful.
I was pretty skeptical about it, but it seems whether a little bit of luck. I mean, he's gotten a lot of troll creeps, which is very fortunate versus the Queen of Pain. And some good rotations. The aggro Chen is working out. He doesn't really need it. I thought, like, for sure, the first time he died there, I was like, well, use safe lane jungle now. But Dendy now going to be caught, and this should be a kill with a 4-second stun. Easily a pick
take
off.
A second as well, because Seal kept moving in through nicely. Phoenix will end up killing up Batrider in the bottom lane, which is what I was kind of waiting for before. But here, running through the trees, they'll pick up a second, and it's into the hands of the Wisp. But it was on bottom lane. Queen of Pain and Phoenix going to work, and it kind of looked weird from Funnick on the bottom. I wish I kind of saw what happened there. He didn't use Lasso, but he was moving into a position like he looked like he wanted to use Lasso, but had no way to escape from the Nova Radius if he was in that far.
Either way, very successful play by NiP. Basically, their way of dealing with a super aggro trend is that they display willingness to be grouping up very early on, right? The Queen of Pain rotating to bottom lane to get that pick off. Now, like the Earthshaker just kind of hanging out in middle, basically making it a tri-lane. They've abandoned, essentially, this safe lane, which sounds very, very odd and not a winning strategy at all, but essentially their safe lane is kind of the off lane. You know, it's such a dangerous lane that it's kind of worth just giving up as long as you make stuff happen in the rest of the lanes. They may fall behind, especially in experience they should fall behind, but it seems like the kills that they've gotten have kind of kept Na'Vi from being able to obtain an early golden experience lead, despite the fact that they're, you know, actually farming up 3 different lanes, while NiP are just doing what they can with only 2.
Limp, how much do you want this room? Okay, won't matter how much you want it, you're not going to get it. Hanscom was coming in to give a bit of a hand. He's got more help here too, which is in the hands of the Phoenix, but without the Nova, they may not feel confident enough to try and find this kill on the Batrider, but the jump in, trying to go in for the Sprite damage and the Sonic Wave. The last hit from the Batrider, he's going to burn out in the middle of this. Dendy comes in, 1 raise, 2 raises, Nova still not available. Stick charges and not enough to keep him alive. With more help from Seneko, Hanskin, well, he's hoping to relocate out, but there was no way that was going to happen either. Not with the Lion there to give the Hex. So it's a double kill for Dendy, right behind Limp, hits the raise before the blink is completed. And with a haste rune from the Shadow Fiend, all he needs is basically 1 more max range raise and 2 attacks. But he's not going to get that with Seal Kid TPing into the tier 1 tower. The Fissure would have stopped his push.
Dendy making some big plays is actually killing NiP because they still have a free farming of O's in the top lane who managed to get the tier 1 tower. The fact that NiP are losing the engagements on the bottom half of the map is a very bad sign. 4-7. As Na'Vi do take finally a commanding lead in the laning phase, primarily thanks to that haste rune of Dendy. And now he's also going to be able to, well, eventually utilize the jungle. For now, it's Phonic taking it over. And it seems like he's not even close to his Blink Dagger just yet. He stalled it up for that bottle, which is kind of interesting. A lot more laning presence out of the Batrider when you do go for the bottle build, which makes sense because he was facing up against 1 to 3 heroes at any point in time in his lane. So
I think it's game time now for Artstyle. He's waiting for that opening with the aggressive Observer Ward. He sees Seal Kid. The Seal Kid needs to walk a little bit closer before Artstyle's going to be ready to have a crack at him. You know, he's just hanging in the tree line. He needs Seal Kid to basically walk to here. And then, perfect. X marks the spot. Jump in by a Force. He came in with the Blink Dagger and the Constraint. Carves him up. As then into a Nova. It's the only way that he can help out here with CK also coming in with the Reality. Sven, he's going to drop. It's a double kill for the Phoenix with a perfect Nova position. The Chen army will back up, and that is one gank gone horribly, horribly wrong. Even if Earthshaker did die, you lose the Sven, you lose the Chen.
I mean, despite the fact that they didn't have any vision of it, it seemed like NiP knew exactly what was going to happen there. So they just kind of baited out the Earthshaker, and shout out to Earthshaker for getting a really good Fissure. Like, right as the blink came in from Avos, it stuns both of them, then he gets the Enchant Totem on both of them as well. It stalled up his death significantly and made sure that the Sven was still in range of that relocate from NiP. So, well played. The first relocate coming into action for NiP, kind of offsetting the early advantage for Na'Vi. And it is still a kill advantage to NiP, though they are not utilizing the map nearly as well as Na'Vi, which again is why you see so much of a CS advantage on Na'Vi and even a gold advantage for them.
Means they're going to try and hold this lead, keep that pressure up. When is our... do we even look for a push timing here? Or do we wait for Shadow Fiend to find... Well, okay, NiP aren't waiting at all. They're just running into the Radiant jungle. One of Artstyle's sensitive Satyrs scouts that era as well as Hanskin moving in.
A little bit of surprise aggression, trying to find somebody.
Oh boy! He's going for the Wisp. There's no tether. There will be that Chaos Bolt plus a 3-second stun with a Scream out. Also looking too healthy on the way out of here. There's no extra damage because there's not enough mana for a Sonic Wave, but there is a Fissure from Earthshaker. Sealkid getting in. Dandy winding up the ult. He's a point-blank range one on top of Era with the lasso. So much committed to ensure the kill on him. They are successful at doing it, but it's still a 1 core for a 1 core. And a large amount of your abilities have been expanded as Johannes finds Artstyle. He's going to go into the Sunray. He might be able to get the kill with the Sunray if he can reach close enough. No, he's going to go into the Nova. Dendy coming in too close with the raise. He's not going to take the risk. And that's also going to mean the death of the Chen army as well as the Chen himself.
Yeah, you saw how many, like, he lived through Lasso, SF Ultimate, and Finger of Death. And that era, the Chaos Knight was still alive, and I think that's one of the primary reasons that you're going to see more Chaos Knight play until 6.84 anyway, is because it's all about tank heroes right now. You know, it's all about surviving through the engagement long enough. That's why you see so much Bristleback, why you're seeing a lot of Troll as well. Troll's strength gain is insanely high, so he is actually a really good sustain hero for multiple reasons. Bottom, Seneko may be caught out here.
He's got one more Spirit. And, well, okay, Relocate's going to come in. 3-second stun to the Reality Rift, and Phonic, he TP'd in to try and help out his teammate, but realizes that there is nothing more he can do here. So tether out, and the Relocate takes him back to mid.
Na'Vi aren't really punishing the Relocates at all. They're They're taking advantage of pretty heavily. NiP are being able to get pickoffs, and they're not being punished when they relocate back to the area that they relocated from. So it's not like Na'Vi are actually responding with TPs, nor are they setting up on the relocate back, which is allowing NiP to just really get ahead of this game thanks to their superior gank force. Now, I don't think Na'Vi should necessarily be the aggressors here. I do think that they need to sit back. They're going to be more of a pickoff squad thanks to the early Blink Dagger on Havost as well as the Batrider. They do need to focus more on just getting pickoffs on, say, the Wisp, shutting down the Earthshaker. I think they need to keep the supporting cast down of NiP more than anything else. Dendi with the ultimate here on Era, but no!
He got a 4-second stun off too, so that might be enough time to get out for the double stun! Perfectly coming in from Lion. That might buy the space required, and they back it up. The Nova, they're burning Na'Vi. Saneko, 16 HP, is able to escape, or is he? The spirits fly out, but no one's there anymore. But that was one big stun from Era, stopping Dendi in his tracks. That Yule Scepter into Requiem, not working.
Nope, Dendi really took a gamble there, thinking he was going to be able to get it off before the stun of the Chaos Knight, but it was just a half a second at most that Era was able to get in that stun before the full rendition of the Shadow Fiend Requiem. And because of that, the team fight goes horribly wrong for Na'Vi. The response from NiP is there, quick TPs out. And NiP, once again, just showing up to the fights with superior numbers is really what gives them the advantage in all of these fights.
But they're always going to be able to do that when you run a Wisp with a relocate. Like, you're always going to have that chance.
And I almost wonder, like, if Na'Vi wanted to play this way, I feel like the item choices should have been, like, especially on Havost, I think he should have gone Midas instead of a Blink Dagger.
Well,
I don't think the Blink Dagger's done
now,
anything
or is this
for
going to
him.
be his Blink into Armlet or something else?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, but either way, I think he should have gone Midas first, because Na'Vi are not really taking advantage. Part of it was because they were missing the Blink Dagger on Funnick for quite some time. Like, that was just generally a bit of a slow blink for the Bat. But they aren't really utilizing these early Blink Daggers to get ahead, because NiP are just constantly 5-manning. If they want to utilize the Blink Daggers, they have to bring all 5 heroes of Na'Vi in order to win the fight, and they're just not doing that. It seems like everybody's kind of on their own page at this point, you know, trying to farm up, do what they can to get those mid-game items up, but they're not actively trying to fight as much.
Well, looks like they're going to try and find one pick off. That's going to be over on the Phoenix, into the Firefly. Phoenix got the dive off. Unfortunately, Saneko does not have his Blink Dagger, which is more of the critical thing, because unless Batrider is capable of coming from the high ground, like a vision like this, and then blink into a lasso, they won't have the damage output, or at least, sorry, the control abilities to get the kills. Because they need to hit with the lasso, or they need to hit with the Hex. That's the starting initiating with that duo. If I use words correctly.
I mean, for again, just to go back to it one more time, for a Sven who was free farming so heavily, got an early tier 1 tower, I think within 10 minutes you're going to see Sven just be a non-factor, and it's going to be completely up to Dendi to carry this game. Funnick caught out, I think, the stun. Oh, not quite in time.
Wait. Where is it?
Are you trying to follow the Chaos Bolt there, Toby?
Yep.
Wow.
Boom! Almost got the timing right.
That was way too loud.
Meanwhile, back in the fight,
God.
Phoenix going to get fingered up a little bit. But he'll end up surviving through that. As Saneko will be just TPing himself away to safety. With a little Wisp helping, he's always going to be a happy Phoenix.
Saneko is such a tease. Just a little bit of fingering and then just walking away. Shiva's going to be up very soon for Eunice. This is a super farmed Phoenix, man.
He must have felt like he was really going to die in that last one because he bought the recipe instead of just waiting out for the Mystic Star.
Well, can you blame him? He took a finger of the death, man. Like, it's in the name's ability. Death. Should have brought him low, but the Wisp was able to keep him just a little bit above that. And then, of course, the mech coming into play as well.
Well, we got a smoke gank now for NiP. Realizing, well, finger is down. There's no God Strength available for the Sven. So there's not a huge amount of damage. You do have that relocate up for the... Actually, no, it's down for 15 more seconds.
Caught out
someone else. Yeah, they caught Denny with the fissure. And the Echo Slam also being committed. There is, well, Sunray available to go after Denny. The Hand of God now into the Nova. There's not enough heroes to attack and kill off this egg in time. Or is it? They bring in the help. They only just barely got there. And then maybe they can get themselves an extra one with the controller from the Queen of Pain. The lasso perfectly targeted from Funnick. Support did come in from the Wisp and CK, but now it's Ven also here. That relocate not going to pull him out in time. It's an absolute disaster for NiP. It's only going to be the casualty of Artstyle, but the rest of Na'Vi just mopping up the ninjas.
God.
They definitely wet their pajamas during that nap.
That was such a big misplay there from... I mean, it started off with the Phoenix. He missed 2 different Fire Spirits to start on Dendy, right? And then he messed up his Icarus dive. He, like, double-clicked it, so he didn't go anywhere, and he couldn't actually get on top of Dendy. Another big problem. And then on top of that, the Earthshaker not actually getting the Enchant Totem onto the Batrider in time in order to stop that last fatal miss, that fatal right-click that killed the egg.
The fish is on Dandy, that TP in time. Icarus dive, no, the Yule Scepter from Dandy! It actually keeps Johannes out, so we can't play the positional game. These Wisp Spirits, though, Dandy's about to be slapped by the balls in the trees, and there is just a scream. SF will go down, and Queen of Pain getting a very good amount of gold from that. It was 506 on the tally, but in reality it was actually 684 in total. So all goes to his greater... What is he actually buying? Is this meant to be Necrobook time, or what are we looking at here for the co-op? I'm hoping that's not the start of a Dagon, because it could also be that with the Null Talisman. The other option is you can go for, what, a defensive Yule Scepter?
It's not a Necrobook. Most likely, it's either an Aghanim Scepter or a Yule Scepter.
And you just wanted the Staff of Wizardry so he could... Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah, it's one of the few times that you might consider going something other than the point booster. It's a little odd. You would normally go point booster, but he's like, it gives me more right-click damage, perhaps. And also the increase in mana is always nice. I think most likely is Yule Scepter just because he didn't go for that point booster, but I'm not sure if I agree with Yule Scepter in this game. I mean, it's good at kiting around, like the Sven is super good. It's a quick reaction ability versus Batrider as well.
But it's not going to help him much once those BKBs are up and running, unless you want to wait until the later portion of the game when the BKB's down to 5 seconds. Then maybe you could buy yourself some time to blink out. That could be the other alternative as opposed to controlling up the Na'Vi cores.
I mean, the Yule Scepter in a way is kind of like the in-between item of BKB and...
Oh, jump, lasso. They caught the Phoenix. Just want to Yule Scepter up with the Batrider. Might have been nice, but relocate in. Ear up, throws out the Chaos Bolt. He finds the Nako, but really, he doesn't want to find the middle of this Chen army unless there's a model amount of him, plus Limp hitting the perfect Sonic Wave. So it's really good control coming out from NiP. Reality Rift in, Era. Able to find another kill off over on that gem. The Nova gonna drop, but all of Na'Vi are backing out of here. The Icarus dive down my Phoenix, just trying to clean up a little bit of the trees and get some vision of Vorst. That God Strength practically run out now. But the first real use of that Reality Rift to evaporate the heroes of Na'Vi, but he only got the supports. All the cores survived.
And on top of that, he got the 50%. Extra illusion in there as well, so it just added so much extra damage. Really good Sonic Wave play, and that's the power of the Phoenix, right? It's why we're seeing so much Phoenix nowadays, is that the power of Eunice coming in just meant that Na'Vi couldn't fight, right? Whether it was the egg disabling the blink daggers or generally fighting into the egg is a bad idea, it just made that every hero that was caught behind that egg, every hero that the egg was separating the Na'Vi members, it was basically just cutting off that fight. So, the Havos, Dendy, they couldn't go in. The egg was zoning them out, and it was just a free-for-all in that middle lane to get whatever kills they could on the Chen, on the Sineko, Lion. I mean, they were all just food, essentially.
Well, who's going to get the largest slice of cake is Na'Vi. They do have 4,000 in the net worth advantage, and they're falling behind a little bit now in the experience, but it won't take long for this to swing once again. Either way, it could either go Na'Vi or NiP's way, depending on this timing. With that BKB up for the Chaos Knight, he's going to be such a bigger powerhouse during the fights.
And this is why, right, the big difference between the Phoenix and the Batrider, right, they're 1v1, but the big difference is that Phoenix is usually shut down. Like, he would be an OP hero if you had a really good offlane every single time where you got full amount of experience. The problem is you always get shut down in the offlane. In this case scenario, they run the aggro try, but they leave the Phoenix 1v1 versus the Batrider. Sure, the Bat will do fine versus the Phoenix, but you can't stop the Phoenix from getting levels, and that's what's so key. Seal Kid, oh, what an Enchant Totem time play.
Oh, he was hoping to control him. That was a fissure. They stopped the Batrider when he jumped in.
Maybe if he'd popped Echo Slam as well. Like, he drops the Enchant Totem right as the Batrider comes in. Very lucky play, but he could follow that up with the Echo Slam and hopefully just get the extra bit of distance to stay away from that lasso. But
it would have been living on a prayer if he could do it.
yeah, and it costs you that ultimate, which is pretty important.
We get a Blink Dagger over on Deddy, so Blink BKB Yule's up for the SF. He's still going to find this perfect initiation without being controlled. At least there's one upside. How many abilities is there for NiP that really go through that BKB? I count none.
Our Phoenix is playing super aggressive.
Not bad from Nova.
Holy cow. Yeah, Nova stun. You can't really count that one too much.
You're not going to rely on that. You have to wait until the entire duration of the Nova to sign up an SF instead of BKB to stop the Requiem of Souls. Yeah, good luck. That would be a mistake by Dendy if that situation ever occurred.
Speaking of Dendy, there is the rotation. They might just be able to burst him.
It feels like bait.
Radiant's
But it's not really, because Na'Vi aren't in position to really capitalize on this. So the Yule Super starts from the Quab. There goes your Echo Slam. Sonic Wave is available with both Hand of God and the mech. All that damage is repaired. And now where is really your opening? Era's being dragged back inside that big BKB Abyss. Now the Phantasm will kick up with the Nova to also drop. He keeps Nico in range. They have to find a different target. The Batrider Artstyle going to get stunned up. The Sonic Wave, he'll remove the large amount of life points of Artstyle. But didn't do what they were really searching to do, and that was to kill off the Batrider and TV back to base. But Limp, he's going to find Dendy, but there's nothing to really help him to get the kill. The rest of his team is still back over at mid. They had no stuns available, and the Wisp wasn't there to get the relocate to bring CK in.
That fight started off really poorly. I mean, it started off really poorly for NiP. Like, the relocate in to start with, like, a failed Earthshaker initiation, essentially. Right? Doesn't really do much. Then you have the relocate in where Arrow pops his BKB, but like for 5 seconds of it, he does nothing with it at all. But then the Phoenix comes in. And this is what I keep trying to hit home, is that the Phoenix, the Batrider and the Phoenix are on completely different power levels.
No. You do not want to be here, Phonic. He's going to get reality rifted in. A 4-second on the Chaos Bolt. He wanted to come and check and see if they were doing Roshan, but Phoenix flashing out that new Shiva's guard of his.
I mean, he found the answer, didn't he?
Well, that's true, and he does.
Yes,
oh no, they actually bought back. They thought that NiP were going for Roshan, so they bought back over on him. Unless this is meant to be Na'Vi taking Roshan from NiP, the aggressive ward position here does kind of flag that intention.
NiP did do a purely fountain healing relocate, so they could continue to fight.
They're coming for it. Hero, no Phantasm available. The Sentry Wall, they got the Lasso drag onto Steel Kid. No Echo Slam available with the Finger of Death. They take out the Earthshaker, but Roshan is still nice and low. They got the Hex on Phoenix halfway through the Icarus dive with the control. NiP, I don't know why they're taking this fight, but Dandy is now going to evaporate the Quab. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. NiP, all they have left is just that duo, Jack and Jill, Wisp and CK, going back to fetch some level of Pail of Water from inside the Dire Jungle, and now even that camp, the stack of Vorce is going to farm that one up too. The injection of money is through the roof. They actually managed to gain themselves 1,700, almost 1,800 worth of gold. Like, the swing was even bigger than that, but they took everything from NiP during that fight.
You could understand why Na'Vi went for Roshan, though. I mean, without the egg, without the Chaos Knight ultimate, there's no teamfight capabilities for NiP. We have yet to see them go into a fight without those ultimates, right? It's why they just seem to steamroll Na'Vi. Even if the initiation is bad, NiP still win the fight. Well, this is the first time that Na'Vi finally get to force a fight with those ultimates down. I mean, no other situation could Na'Vi really force engagements. You know, it's not like they were going to, like, push down a tower and NiP are like, okay, we have to defend this. At any point that happens, they just go ahead and say, well, the tower's going to fall, that's fine. We have to wait on Supernova. We have to wait on the Chaos Knight's ultimate. But that was the first time, the Roshan fight, where NiP try and contest it without those ultimates. You could see how poorly it went. Granted, it was a terrible way to start the fight with them being so split up and getting caught out like that. Like, it was just generally they got initiated on, and that it was a bad initiation from the Phoenix as well. Generally, it was a lost fight guaranteed, and they still tried to force it. But NiP goes to show their fighting power is completely dependent on the Phoenix.
We have ourselves a pause, have a breather before Na'Vi's going to come up high ground, which might actually be a questionable thing for them to do. I'm also able to connect back into the game now because you got every ulti up for NiP. Obviously, they don't have the players up for another 15 seconds because Phoenix is dead. But you got fortification available for you.
I love the Mask of Madness pickup by Havos. I was going to say he should go for Mask of Madness. It sounds kind of weird, but, you know, a 24-minute Mask of Madness after you've already gotten Blink Dagger and Midas, but it's so good in this game. It's so good on Sven, generally. I think Sven is super underrated just because he gets so much benefit out of Mask of Madness, and think how prevalent that item is in the current meta. Juggernaut is a hero because of that Mask of Madness primarily.
Yep.
It's such a big item for him that when he's able to get Mask of Madness and BKB, who stops him? Who fights Sven? Nobody. Nobody fights a Sven because he's got an armor buff. He gives plus 16 armor. So if he's magic immune and he's got plus 16 armor, who cares if he's susceptible to more damage because the Mask of Madness is activated? It doesn't matter. You're not going to do enough damage to outdo that lifesteal, especially since he's getting so much lifesteal due to the fact he's combining it with God's Strength. Right, so he's able to rip through the egg really quickly due to his fast attack speed. No one can really fight him because the BKB. The best target would be the Chaos Knight. That's the one hero that can kind of overwhelm the Sven, and that's only if the Sven isn't right-clicking. If for some reason he's disabled. But NiP don't have any disables to go through BKB. So he's pretty much an unstoppable force.
We're having that wonderful moment when Vorce gets to lag out. Obviously, he wasn't using 4 layers of protection for his internet tonight.
Well, to be fair, Toby, they say the double wrapping is actually bad.
That's
only
true.
1 layer of protection, they
That's
say.
We're not going to say that with DDoS. You can never have enough layers of protection up against DDoS. It's the internet, man. It's a more of a viral place.
It's a filthier place than the bedrooms of humanity. Is that what you're saying, Toby?
Yeah. No, it's really just like warts and all. That's
don't say that word in cast. You say you drop as many F-bombs as whatever you want, but don't put that image in my mind.
Hey, I told you, man. I'm here to entertain the people. And
I don't think anybody's. Nobody's L-giggling. Everyone's just fail fishing and what facing. That's what they're doing.
They're not fail fishing, man. They're freaking cappering.
They're what?
They're figuring cappering. There's cappers at the end of that.
No, they're
if
what?
There's not enough. No, screw
that face right there. That's the reaction.
It's not the reaction you need. It's not the reaction you want. It's gotta learn to like it. Learn to like it.
So, are you excited for Columbus, Toby? This could be our last cast.
It actually is our last one, unless D2CL schedule a game for tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Unless something shows up tomorrow.
Yeah. In case people don't know, we fly to Columbus on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So the team will be going there. But don't fear, there's still more D2CL action coming up. Doka will be here, holding down the fort, casting all those games for you. As well as the new Chinese game we've been casting. Right here on JoinDota Red 2, you can find that one. We're doing the new tournament. If you haven't checked it out, go to joindota.com. Our new set crew have leveled up over the past month or two. So we're getting some really great content coming out from that one. So, you know, everything you need to find is going to be over there. Not to mention our database crew also have stepped up a notch. So, JD actually becoming a really solid resource of a place. But yeah, we're doing the VP Game Pro League. The main event of that starts on Sunday, is when that one will begin. But we're having the qualifiers every single day at 10 CEST in the morning.
Yeah,
It's got every top team in China.
Yep, every top team in China. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a good opportunity to see the Chinese scene. Because right now, like the Chinese scene, you've seen like a little bit of progression and like kind of the team settling down. But I think another tournament would help, you know, really solidify. Okay, this is where the teams are truly at after, you know, the Chinese New Year switch up. So.
Okay. Are you coming back a Vost?
No.
Do we believe in his connection? Fourth connect lucky, man.
3, 4. See the what face is being dropped, Toby?
Yes.
That's you.
And wait for Kappa to come directly after that one, because if that's
You say,
I
if you speak it, it shall come.
Yes, exactly. I believe in the power of Kappa. I believe Kappa can
I think there's
can outwin
actually more
everything.
what faces than Kappa. It's actually a battle right now.
Yes, we've started a civil Twitch war. Except it's not so civil.
Toby, go to the camera.
What?
Show me your best Kappa face.
Really? Really? Is this what you want us to get to now?
What, you have better ideas for content? Give me that smug grin. This is, you ready for my what face? Join Dota Twitch memes right here, right now. That's what's happening. You can thank me later, chat. What? You said you were here to entertain the people, Toby.
That's very, very true. I realize.
You said you were here to entertain the people.
Yes. Yes, at our own expense, but it's been a while since I put a shoe on my head, so there is a level you grow up to.
Wait, did you actually put a shoe on your head at one point?
Do you not remember that? I used to like that was back in the days when I thought doing these little quirky little things was the way to become a professional caster. But really all I did was create a circle jerk for about a week, and then everyone was like, "Oh, when's he gonna do something new?"
So why did you put a
Just
shoe
like,
on your head?
Sing for me! Sing for me! That's what happened, man. That's what happened. And it's scary. It's scary. It's just. How many times you said that? By the way, they said he's rebooting soon, so he's coming back, and I'm assuming Brad or everything's gonna be done. But it's really scary. Have you ever had like that really needy girlfriend? I was like, "Can you tell me you love me? Can you tell me you love me? I need to hear the words that you love me."
No, you didn't say it right.
You can't force it, all right? You can't force the love.
You didn't say it right. No, say it like you mean it.
Yes, your ass looks fat in those jeans. Yeah, you want me to mean something? I meant something. There you go.
You're a terrible boyfriend, Toby.
Yes, absolutely terrible.
No, I'm lying. That's the way you should treat relationships, Twitch chat. Honesty. Honesty is key.
Honesty is the best.
Take it from someone who's been dishonest.
At the same time, pick your fights, boys. Pick your fights, because not all fights are worth taking.
Not me. In my relationships, I take every fight. Everything is an argument with me. That's how you keep things fresh. That's how you keep things interesting.
That's how you remain single.
Then I get a new girlfriend. Keeps things interesting, Toby. Keeps things interesting.
Yes. It's no. No, it doesn't.
Listen, it's not. In my opinion, it's not a relationship worth having if you can't have fights and still walk away with it satisfied. That was not the intentional.
That wasn't the greatest word you could have added at the end of that.
It was just whatever I could come up with.
Because everybody else knows exactly what the hell you're talking about.
Less cast, more singing.
Unless you're under the age of 15, in which, but I apologize for all content that you may hear during the broadcast of this live stream, because this Join Dota stream has content which is not suitable for the viewing of any age. Apart from maybe that 70-year-old guy that was playing Dota 2 and had all the news articles about him.
Yeah, he's seen it all.
I swear he's just doing it for the fans. Before I die, I want to have 20,000 people turn up in my funeral, and they're all Dota 2 kids. Gonna happen.
Everyone hopes they're gonna be like. Do you think like 50 years from now, us, at 70, do you think we'll actually be like, because everyone says like, oh, when I get older, I'm still gonna play video games and that sort of thing. Do you think that's actually gonna stay? Do you think we're the generation that finally makes it so that you still have? And I'm not talking like nowadays. Oh, my grandpa plays, Bejeweled on his phone. I'm talking like, actual 50-year-olds playing Call of Duty or whatever.
Our level of games that we currently play will be seen as Bejeweled level games by our grandkids, because they'll be sitting there going, so you don't have that like virtual reality suite that you can play everything.
No, but the point being though, Toby, the point being though is that we are gamers that have always been gamers, right? So the idea being that as we grow older, we will still keep up with the times of where the games are at, right?
Okay. Well,
Do you think that will happen?
No.
Do you think that's no?
Because
Okay.
things will get
Because
beyond
we
that
are essentially going to be
comprehension.
that first generation, really.
Dude, I freaked out when I saw someone with a phone whose buttons were like micro-sized. I'm like, I don't know how to operate this thing. Like, it's just all too small. My thumb can't do that kind of precise action. Maybe my pointer finger can,
God.
but my thumb definitely cannot. So
you're telling me, Toby, that's what I'm going to become?
you're going to become like, I can't keep up with the kids of today. Technology just comes so natural.
I don't know.
to
I
them.
think you're. let's be real here, Toby.
I'm an old man. I don't like change, right?
I think you were
Get
born,
off my lawn!
I think you were born into being an old man rather early on.
I'm gonna be 60 years old. I'm gonna have like a Gran Torino sitting in my driveway, and I'm gonna be yelling at kids who are playing on my virtual lawn because obviously the world's gotten to such a position that grass has died. I had to have a holographic lawn and then still scream at kids to get off my holographic lawn. That will be me at the age of 70.
All right. Well, I don't listen, Toby.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I don't think
I'm listening, Cap. Lay it on me.
I think you became an old man quite early.
Yeah.
I think that's your temperament.
I've been aged by esports. I'd like to say I'm like a fine wine and I get better with age, but really, there's just a dust layer that gathers on the top.
Toby's
So if you take that off, there's a wonderful sweetie center.
Toby's seen too many Dota players going wild in parties. He's seen it all too much.
You know about that. Like, I sit there, I'm like, no, I'm actually going to sleep because I have to work tomorrow. I'm broadcasting at 7 a.m. in the morning, and Cab's just like, party, let's do this.
I'm not even that big. I am not that big of a party feed. I'm just saying. After
He's just like, you're so soft, man. We go out. We've only got a couple of times when we go to LAN events. You should have seen him the first time we went to ESL 1 Frankfurt. It's like, my first big LAN. I'm like, you went to TI. I was like, I was only doing interviews for absolute legends.
Yeah,
and then it's like, you know what? I want a party. It's my first big LAN. It's a time to celebrate. Come out. Stop being soft. I'm like, all I want to do is sleep, Cap. We only slept 3 hours and then we cast for 12 straight. What do you want of me?
ESL 1 Frankfurt after party was awesome, but
I didn't go.
But I digress.
Slept.
I digress because you're making it sound like I go to the event and every night is a party, excluding IESF, which was a special scenario.
Well, ISF was great
Just 'cause
because
ISF.
Red Bull just threw so much alcohol at us, and Tasteless and
couldn't sleep
Mitosis
anyway.
threw so much alcohol. Like, Tasteless is like, okay, boys, we're starting. It's like, what have we got? We've got like an entire tray of Jaeger shots. So it's like, we're not leaving this table until all this is drunk. I'm like, no. And then the Russian division found me. It's like, oh!
Hey, you play Dota! Give drink vodka!
Just vodka! And it's like, oh my god! And one of them even tried to fight me later on that night.
Yeah, that guy was no bueno.
Yeah, he was a bit of a douche.
Yeah, that guy was totally a dick.
Good times.
Don't
Great dancing.
don't be a dick to personality instead. At after parties, it's not going to go well for you.
Especially when the two people and the things you want to insult are the two people you're actually talking. It's like the English commentary was crap and production was crap. And I'm sitting there.
You're just going, I'm the English commentary. What do you want?
I'm sitting there with one of the production guys. All he would have to do is move at you, and you would just get knocked across the other side of the room. He is like that guy, Rufus from Street Fighter. He would get up, and you'd be like, watch him. Boom! Oh, okay. KO'd. That's all it really is. Alright, so we're going to load with the stand-in because the boss cannot get back into the game.
Anyway, you make it sound like every night at an event I'm going out partying or something like that. I'm just saying, Toby, every LAN event has an after party, and the only after party we have gone together to was TI. That's the only after party you went to. Ever since I joined Dota, every single after party you avoided.
That was the only TI after party I went to. Because the one that was before that, in fact, actually, no, that's not true. Because the one at TI2 I was at because it was at the event location. And that was also a little bit weird. Okay, so we're...
Oh, yeah. I remember. I was there at that one, too.
That was in the age of Gangnam Style, and we were doing some very unusual stuff. Also, where the air is crisp, people. Where the air is crisp. Slot number 1.
Good work.
Good
work. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
But ever since I joined Dota, you did not go to any after party.
TI3, I was lucky to be upright when I was commentating. Even when I had a chair, I was gonna, and they had us on these real weird-ass chairs. Like, they have the same bloody chairs at TI4 as well. And it's like I'm walking on stilts. And they put you in front of a desk. It's like, okay, now cast some great Dota you're going to get massively excited about. I swear I could have broken my neck multiple times at TI. A caster should be paid danger money at TI because of the chairs they put us on. But I was so sick. I was trying to control the camera with one hand. Use my cough button with the other. And then blow my nose with a third hand, which I don't have. That was my challenge. And I had...
Why didn't you force Valve to give you a professional nose wiper? Nose wipe, and you just... all of a sudden a guy shows up from behind the chair and just blows your nose for you.
I don't know how I'd signal him, though. What would I do? It's just like, if I do a really loud sniff, he just comes over and
you just hit the cough button. You're just like... You just... Nose wipe! You just yell at the intern. And this like small little Valve intern comes over. He's like, "Yeah, yes, Toby," and he wipes your nose for you. That's what he does.
Seriously, for that entire competition, all I remember, I really wish I remembered more of TI3, but I don't because I was just so sick and like taking things to keep me up and working. But I just remember sitting with Light of Heaven in that little back staff like eating room, meal room thing. And Light of Heaven's just like, they play stupid. They're morons. This draft over 20 minutes. Like the terrible Dota. It's just holy crap, man.
Yo, Light of Heaven does not shy away from.
He beats the crap out of everyone. It was quite impressive. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like half passing out, and he wants to keep talking to me. So like he's forcing me to stay awake to listen to what he says because what he says is also fairly interesting. But I'm just there half passing out. I just don't know what to do. Who is standing? Question mark. I don't.
Oh, Shashlo. Yeah, that's Shashlo.
Okay, Shashlo.
Yeah, I was like, I remember those. I recognize those Russian characters. No idea what it means, but I think he's done before.
I missed my puppy.
Damn, I was gonna say something too.
And it was gonna be amazing.
Oh, that's right. I've seen, Light of Heaven. Like, Light of Heaven will come in as a caster after game number 1, and I've seen him like flame a team in the lobby for game number 2. He flamed Cloud9. It was one of the most hilarious things I've seen. Light of Heaven was just like, you drafted this, this, and this. What did you expect would happen? It was just like, oh Jesus, Light of Heaven, please.
Okay, everybody, we're going to get back into the game. Let's get some momentum back up in the chat and the channel. Can I hear some hope? That's what I want to see. Give me some hope here in the channel. That's all I want to see. All right, so we're going to start again at 26-31 just to keep it even. Obviously, because that's a very odd number. That's what I'm dude, you broke my punchline. Feed line, punchline, and then laugh. That's what it's meant to be.
It's not a punchline though, Toby. It's just you being wrong.
If I punch you, will it make it a line? Alright, so let's go. We're getting ourselves underway. The tier 2 tower will drop on the bottom just to actually get our bearings again. And we'll run through everyone in case you've only just joined us for this broadcast and you've missed out on the wonderful filler content the Captain will be providing you with. It was story time. Let's run through our lineup. So, Na'Vi, we have ourselves a Dendi, who is not going to kill this Wisp, because Era is right behind him, and this will be a really bad idea for Dendi, because Era is now going to fully commit. Oh, BKB! He actually got him in the middle of the Chaos Ball! The 4-star up, they caught out the Wisp, but now Reality Rift in is able to bring all of these illusions from the Phantasm over to the Batrider, and they're chasing him to the ends of the earth. Wisp wants to stick around here. Reality Rift just back off cooldown again, pulling him up across the tree line, dusting the leaves on the way. And that's now going to be a full minute on the sidelines. But yes, back to our lineup. Let's actually go through NiP because they're all alive. So we have Wisp as well as CK, their combination, Steel Kid, Earthshaker, Jonas will be the Phoenix, and that leaves our last but not least Limp, who is playing the very nimble Queen of Pain. While Na'Vi, they have Dendi's SF, Saniko is our Lion Artstyle, who is the new Mon Capitan. He'll be the Chen. That puts our new stand-in as well, who is... Name already short-term memory. Shashlo. He will be the Russian stand-in for Sven. And that leaves Funnick, who is the Batrider, who has recently rejoined Na'Vi. You're now up to date. Welcome to Dota.
So it's 19-22. As far as progress in this game goes, NiP are behind right now. Na'Vi are significant gold and experience ahead due to one particular Roshan fight that went really well for them, and they have just been kind of building off of that. NiP have been winning most of the engagements besides that one, primarily due to the Phoenix. So this is a lineup that we are looking at, and because the Phoenix is such a significant factor, because he was 1v1 versus the Batrider early on, Jonas has actually been able to get a lot of progression in this game quite early, so he's a significant factor, and obviously their carry, Chaos Knight. But both of them are super dependent on very long cooldown ultimates. Middle lane, they're going to relocate in for the Batrider.
They're going to get the stun as well as the Shadow Strike, pulling him straight back up. That was almost 10% Euro, 90% the way of the Batrider for that Reality Rift. But the Tier 2 tower still does drop on top. So when NiP find the pickups, they have to defend that push on top lane. Already Na'Vi are coming in for some revenge if they can catch up to the Phoenix, which is going to be pretty hard with Icarus Dive.
Yeah, they know exactly what's happening, or maybe they don't.
They found the Quap. Dandy, no point winding up the oldie, but they got the Hex and just nom nom. Nom nom, nom nom nom.
Yep. They gobble up the Queen of Pain quite quickly. And now, do they defend the Tier 2? It seems like it. NiP are actually going to force that fight.
They're moving up for a smoke move. Seal Kid has smoke with CK. But, okay, Hanskin went back to base instead, so they're not moving as a squad.
Yeah, that's a little awkward.
Does the Quap have buyback? Yes, she does. So she can buy back into the fight if they need it.
They have the Phoenix, like, they have the egg, so technically they can win this engagement.
And they got Phantasm up as well. So they got a lot to play with. But the tower was gone. I think they realized there's no point defending this, but at the same time, why would you TP back and not add pressure to the Tier 2 tower on bottom if you...
So perhaps a missed call there that they thought they could fight and then decided against it. But yes, normally if you're not going to fight that middle Tier 2, then you should be trying to push down the bottom Tier 2. And worst comes to worst, you still have to relocate to fall back on for Hanskin. So even if they do TP back and kind of surprise you with initiation and stop pushing that middle Tier 2, you can still relocate out and at least save your carry, Chaos Knight. Now, Chaos Knight is going to be going for a Manta next. Already has the Ultimate Orb, and the Manta should be soon to follow. So even more illusion action for the Chaos Knight.
You can never have enough Chaos Knight.
Yeah, you can potentially have 6 illusions. 6 illusions and 1 actual Chaos Knight. That's like Phantom Lancer numbers right there. Because the Phantasm can get you a 4th Phantasm with a 50% proc.
Yep.
And then obviously 2 more illusions out from the Manta.
Then all you need is an illusion rune.
Fortunately, though, Na'Vi do have some pretty good clear, right? They've got the good Great Cleave out from the Sven, 65%, which was buffed. Back in the day, it used to be only a 50% cleave. But it's now all the way up to 65%, plus the huge amount of physical damage he's going to be outputting with the soon-to-be Daedalus pickup, plus Masquemadness and BKB. And then also the SF's AoE is not to be scoffed at either. It's getting relatively later on into the game, so the magic damage isn't that big of a priority, but between the AoE of the Sven as well as the Shadow Fiend, they could clear through those illusions pretty quickly.
It's just so weird now, actually, looking at this Sven. I'm wondering if you're kind of happy with the progression of items that Divorced was picking up before he ended up getting connected out.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is a pretty standard item build for a Sven. You don't build them many other ways, really.
Yeah. Well, he has the full Daedalus once the courier flies back to base, but it came back up again to finish off Danny's Butterfly. So that's been done. Danny doesn't have a buyback available. Also, because we reloaded, we have no idea what time Roshan's going to spawn up. The players will come and have a bit of a look for it. Well, you have to keep, I don't know, I missed the timer if one has popped up since we came back in, which it probably should have. Yeah, but Roshan could spawn at any moment.
It's 32 minutes in. Seal Kid's got to finish up his Blink Dagger. Yep. That's currently what they're giving room for to him. They even pull the hard camp just so he can take those last hits, and that is perfect amount of money.
And what a perfect time, too. Na'Vi, they're smoke ganking. They're coming in and looking for an opening. Era's the one who's probably the furthest out at the moment. But it'll require a blink in from... At this point, the Lion is the one they want to sacrifice and not sacrifice the position of Dandy.
Yeah, and you could also presume that it's not actually the case, but you can presume that the Wisp is sitting behind Era. Right, so even if you do try and lasso and pull him back, there's going to be a relocate counterplay. Oh, they're
going to try and come from behind. The Tornadoes are already coming into the base, so we're going to have ourselves a pause. As NiP will ask the question, and I'm just gonna do this just so there's no mini map on the screen in case anyone wants to have a bit of a peeky boo. But yeah, we just lost the lion because they're gonna try and loop.
Oh dear.
That's the plan, Stan. That's the plan.
Yeah, it's hopefully who was it?
I don't know. Yeah, it was
Seneko. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
I like how the status.
Would you like to tell some more stories, Toby? Because we might be here for a while.
Well, what more stories do we have, Cap? You can't force stories out of me.
On.
We talked about this before, Cap. You can't force things out of me. I want to tell a story about when English viewership had more than Russian commentators did.
Back in my day!
It was only English viewership. It was just Velat and me. That was it. It was Russia versus English commentary. And then Sind and Mad Mordigan came along. Actually, technically, Mad Mordigan came along before Synderen did. But they were the times. But right now, we are getting crushed underneath Storm. Like, Storm Studio have 105,000 to our 34. But the big shout out as well, the 34,000 people who are tuning in.
Yeah.
It's been
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Join Dota.
You're
reviving us, guys.
Slowly and surely.
Clear!
We do actually.
Join Dota. It has a heartbeat. All of it. Boom, boom.
Wait, we're doing content again on Twitch?
Oh my God, they're alive. That's right.
But we've got a huge upgrade coming soon.
No, guys. Don't worry. All the other times we've said soon, this one's really happening.
Yeah, the stuff's actually arriving while we're over in Columbus.
Yeah.
But we spent €50,000, in fact.
Yeah.
Just, well, what would now be 5 days ago, on a whole bunch of stuff that will arrive this week, and we test out some things on that, and then we buy the rest of the gear, which creates all the hardware for our new studio, and the desks will be here. The new desk, we got a whole new desk created. The wall we built like a month ago now, but the whole new desk, which we have the setup for, will be arriving next week. So our Studio 1's going to be massively upgraded. All of this has to work. We have a deadline. All has to work within 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
So it has to be up and running within 4 weeks. If it's not, hey, we're back into game now, so we can. Well, hang on, that was the wrong one to hit. That's the right one to hit.
Because unfortunately, our pause came at like a very inopportune time. There's going to be action immediately following the unpause.
Yeah. So let's watch the loop. They go underneath the observer ward. They'll come in from behind, and this could create a NiP sandwich. And I don't think NiP really feel like being meat tonight. They have, Navi sandwich. Whoa, other way around.
Going very far back, making sure they get all the way around Navi.
And here they come. Era, BKBs, as well as Flip, but Danny winding up the ulti. He does get it off, down to half his HP, however, and Phoenix just evaporated at the start of this fight. But Phoenix just trying to buy a little bit more space. The buyback comes in from Wiz. Steel Kid finally able to jump in for the Echo Slam, but very minimal damage. He's got a little bit more control with the Totem Stomp, but Avorst has just got, Avorst, the hero formerly known as Avorst, has managed to take out 3 heroes. And now they look to go high ground up against NiP. That was not the initiation they were searching for.
Yeah, losing the Wiz straight off the back. Era.
GG.
Wow.
They call it already. The new Navi lineup will be able to claim a victory here, but it's not over yet. This is only game number 1 of our 2-game series of Navi versus NiP. So there's more to come, Cap.
There is a lot more to come. It's pretty surprising to me that Navi managed to pull out a victory. To start with this series, I was like, NiP, probably 2-0. Maybe they drop a game in the second round. But well done by Navi, showcasing that they are definitely a squad to be contended with this new lineup. It's looking a bit better. NiP definitely made a lot of mistakes, I would say, in the first game there. They dropped too much of the early game. The laning phase decision was really good from Artstyle. I have to say, like, his choice of, like, the aggro Chen, I really didn't think it was going to work. I was super skeptical.
The aggro Chen, and I'm not surprised, because the aggro Chen lane is one of these which either is going to fail absolutely horribly, or it's going to work perfectly. And the fact it got scouted out so early by the Queen of Pain, I was really question marking. The fact he had to burn the salve before he even started the laning phase. Like, whoa. That in itself was just like, this is going to be absolutely horrible. And then he ended up being first blood as well. It's like, oh, okay, this is not going to work. And then, boom, And he kind of had to do it because of the draft from Na'Vi, because you had the Bat Rider, because you had the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
He needed to make space. He needed to have that space created for Na'Vi, and he did it successfully. So Na'Vi, take game number 1. We'll grab a break, grab ourselves a beverage, and also find some new stories for you as we'll be back for our next, hopefully lag-free game number 2 and our final game of the night for the D2CL. Stay tuned.